Hey guys, hope you're doing well. Hope the quarantine isn't affecting you too heavily. Yeah, I just wanted to make a real quick video. You can see me now. I thought that was pretty cool. Um, yeah, quick video on this idea of taxonomic rank. This was the PowerPoint I sent out to you guys earlier this week, and just wanted to clear up a few questions if you had any. But again, if you have any more, please feel free to let me know. Yeah, so try and make this a bit quicker, so not to take up too much of your day. So this idea of taxonomic rank is the idea of how we organize life, any life, whether it be me, a human, the squirrel on this PowerPoint here, to the plants outside, to the bacteria in your gut, anything can be put into this ranking system of taxonomic rank, which we'll go through here quickly now. Real quick, the learning objectives: classify and organize different types of life and define characteristics of life. This second point we'll touch on probably next week, but there's definitely ways to tell if something's alive versus something that's not alive, like a rock versus a human. There's different characteristics that we can say in science that definitively they are a living thing, but we'll talk about that later. Yes, so taxonomic rank. So if we take a look at this diagram on the right, we see all these different words that you might not have seen before: domain, kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species. But this is the system by which we organize all life on Earth. Anything, like I said, from grass to humans to E. coli, which is a bacteria, can be put into this taxonomic ranking system. And starting at the top, being the absolute broadest, things that fit into a bunch of different categories, they fit into this domain, and there's only 3 domains on this planet. So everything in life fits into these 3 domains, which I'll talk about now. So the broadest, anything on life can be either defined as a bacteria, as an archaea, or a eukarya. So yeah, if you were to bring something to school and ask me, Mr. Shep, what is this? It can only be, if it's alive, a bacteria, archaea, or eukarya. All life, as I put in bold here, fits into one of these 3 domains. And so bacteria being anything of the bacteria related, that's fairly easy. So those single cell organisms we've kind of talked about a bit. Archaea, to the naked eye, kind of look like bacteria, but they are actually very different. We'll talk about them in another time. And then eukarya, which sounds like another word we've mentioned before, like eukaryotic cells, which we know are plant and animal cells. Those would fall under the eukarya domain. So moving down from those 3 domains, we're going to move into kingdom, and we're going to stick with this red fox example on the right here that I have. So we're going to stay in the domain of eukarya. So this red fox is in the domain of eukarya because it's an animal and it has animal cells. And we're going to move into this kingdom, and there's 4 main kingdoms within the eukarya domain. In the other domains, like bacteria and archaea, there's other kingdoms, but we'll talk about those another time. But within the domain of eukarya, there's 4 main kingdoms: Animalia, Plantae, Fungi, and Protista. If you had to take a guess, which was the question, which one do you think we're a part of? We would be Animalia because we are animals. So pretty easy to remember. Remember, animals are a part of the Animalia kingdom. If the question at the bottom here, we see which one do you think trees would be in? That would be in Plantae. Plants, so bushes, trees, flowers, all of those belong to the kingdom of Plantae. And then we have 2 more, fungi and Protista. Fungus is like yeast, would belong to that kingdom, and Protista are smaller single-celled living things that we'll talk about another time. They also fall under this domain of eukarya, or I'm sorry, well, they fall under domain of eukarya, and then the kingdom of Protista. Moving down again, talk about phylums. So there are a lot of phylums, even within the kingdom of Animalia. But a lot of phylums on Earth, and there's too many for me to list and spout out here now. But so if we keep again with this idea of the red fox, it falls under this phylum of Chordata. And that word chordata means it has a backbone. That's just what the word means. If we were to break it apart, But as we kind of move down this list here on the right, as we move from domain to kingdom to phylum to class, order, family, genus, species, you get more and more descriptive with your words. So in domain, we know that the red fox is in the domain of eukarya because it has eukaryotic cells. It has animal cells. We know that it is in the kingdom of Animalia because it's an animal. And then we know it's in the phylum of Chordata because it is an animal with a backbone. So as we keep going down, you get more and more descriptive. If you go to class Mammalia here, we know that it is in the domain of eukarya because it has eukaryotic cells. It's in the kingdom of Animalia because it's an animal with eukaryotic cells. We know it's in the phylum of Chordata because it has a backbone that is an animal with eukaryotic cells. And we know it's a mammal because of the way it gives birth and it produces milk. So we know that it's a mammal because of that, but we also know that it's a mammal with a backbone that's an animal and has eukaryotic cells. So you get more and more descriptive as you go down, which is what we can talk about on this page. Every living thing has a specific taxonomic rank. That's what we've kind of said. And so this question we said here, which we've kind of already explained, looking at class on the right, how do you think that describes the red fox? So anything in the class of Mammalia is a mammal. That's how this class describes this animal. So that's just the answer I kind of gave you guys there. If we keep going down into the order of Carnivora, what do you think that means? Well, that just means it's a carnivore, meaning it eats meat. So if we kind of go back again, it's in the order, keep getting more and more specific as you go down. If we know that it's a carnivora, we know that it eats meat, it's a mammal with a backbone that is an animal with eukaryotic cells. I hope that makes sense. So that's all this page is talking about, and this is just put into words. And then hopefully you guys will be doing this. This was the assignment I assigned onto Monday, looking up what the word Canidae and Vulpes means. Canidae meaning it is of the canine family, so similar to dogs, and Vulpes is just a descriptor word really to define a fox. And so you guys have maybe heard of the scientific term for species. So it usually has two words, vulpus, so it's the red fox is how we would describe the species of a red fox. Just by having these two terms, vulpus, we know all these other things about this animal. Because we know that vulpus is in the family of Canidae, and because Canidae we know is in the order of Carnivora. This isn't something I'm expecting you guys to know. But what I do want you guys to know is the order of things, so domain, kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species, and to be able to say which one's before the other one and why we do this. And the reason that we do this in science is so that we have a way of organizing things in the scientific world. So yeah, that's all I got for you guys. Hope this helps a bit. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me, and I'll talk to you soon.